Going on, guys? Just wanted to fire up the camera real quick and show you a project I just finished up, and one I've been thinking about doing for a while, which is to make kind of an everyday carry sheath for my everyday use screwdriver at work, which at this time happens to be a Klein 11-in-1. I find myself reaching for that one more than a couple others that I have, and it's a good screwdriver. And normally I just stick it in my pocket, but the problem is I'll forget it's there and I'll sit down on it, I'll get poked, you know, it can wear holes in my pockets and in my pants. And I just figured there was a little bit more comfortable and a more efficient way of carrying this. So this is what I came up with. Now you can buy a leather sheath for this style of screwdriver on Amazon. I did think about going that route. I think they're about $30, $40. Which for what they are is reasonable. It is a little pricey. But the thing I didn't like about those is really just that it had a closed loop for your belt loop. And I didn't want to have to take my belt off or, you know, take my pants off every time I wanted to remove or put the sheath on. So I wanted something a little bit more convenient. And that's when I came up with this design with the tech lock and some kydex. And this seems to fit the bill pretty well. Now, if you guys want to make your own like this, just as an FYI, due to the thickness or the diameter of the screwdriver shaft and the kydex and everything, I did have to use some different screws and hardware than what came with the tech lock. These are 3/4 inch long machine screws, 1024 by 3/4 with a combo round head. They seem to work perfectly. And the standoffs I made myself, I had some 1/2 inch long and 1/2 inch OD aluminum standoffs with I think a 1/4 inch inner diameter hole. I cut those down to about 5/16 long on my lathe, and that seems to work just perfectly. Now if you look, you know, they do sit just a little bit proud, but that's actually fine. It gives you a little bit more thread to engage. You know, to really be able to cinch these down without stripping them out. And there's plenty of space in between here for even the thickest belt. They're not going to hinder anything. And there's no sharp edges to chew anything up. So it worked out just great. Nice and flush there, nice and smooth. And pretty happy with that. And you can see there's really no light shining through that. It's a nice tight fit on the sheath, but everything still works just fine. So just some FYI on that. 5/16 standoffs, 3/4 inch screws. Works pretty nicely in the 1024 size. And you can see those nuts fit just perfectly, you know, in that inner counter bore there. So that worked for me. And I did leave the shaft side a little bit loose. The way I did that was I went ahead and just put a copper sleeve. This is 1/2 inch copper pipe that I cut down. I did pinch the end just to give it a little taper, kind of smoothed it up on my belt grinder. And that just gave me some additional clearance so that I'm not sticking my shaft in the sheath, you know, and just pulling a handle out. I don't want a tight fit for that reason. And also because it's a combination, you know, multi-bit screwdriver, you know, you're gonna have different bits depending on what you last ended up with. Different shapes, different diameters. You really don't want it to be tight to just one configuration. So this is more of a universal fit. And you've still got that tight fit because of that front shoulder there. So that worked out pretty nice. And I'll show you guys what it looks like on the belt. And you can see very quickly and easily clips into place. Slide the lock over, it's not going anywhere. You know, it's nice and tight to my body, so it's not gonna be hanging up on anything. You know, I could slide it around, slide it back. I can put it past this belt loop if I wanna carry it a little farther back. And when it's ready to use, it just pulls right out. Now, one thing I have noticed, sometimes clicking it in and out, this shaft does wanna slide forward just a little bit. That's just something to kind of keep in mind, at least maybe until this sheath breaks in. You know, sometimes this does kind of come forward a little bit. And I may try to loosen that retention up just a little bit. Maybe that'll prevent that from sliding. We'll see, or maybe I could jam something down here in the end of this to kind of push the screwdriver end back up. See if I can get this back off now. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how the sheath came out. So I figured I'd just show that to you guys real quick. Let me know what you think. I don't think I'm really interested in mass producing these at all. It'd be nice, you know, if somebody made like an injection molded sheath like this that you could put the screwdriver in. Like I said, there is the leather version, but I do like that positive click. Something a little bit tougher, maybe it lasts a little bit longer than leather might, and hold up to my daily use and abuse. So pretty happy with that. I think it's going to fit in with the daily tool carry at work just fine, and curious to know what you guys think about it. So let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.